Have you ever noticed something strange? A person can quit smoking, stop drinking, delete every social media app, but somehow they still can't stop thinking about one person. Isn't that weird? How can someone who isn't even in the same room control your emotions, your sleep, your appetite, and even your happiness? What if love isn't always just an emotion? What if, in some cases, it's an addiction? Now, before you get angry and say, no, love is beautiful, relax. Love really is beautiful. But today we're not talking about healthy love. We're talking about that version of love where your entire world starts revolving around one person. The kind where your phone becomes the most exciting object in your life because you're waiting for one text message. The kind where seeing typing feels like winning the lottery, and seen without a reply feels like the end of the world. Sounds familiar? You're definitely not alone. Let's imagine something. Your phone vibrates. You instantly grab it. It's just your food delivery app reminding you to rate yesterday's sandwich. Disappointed, you throw your phone back on the bed. 5 seconds later, you check it again. Maybe this time it's them. Congratulations, your brain has entered a dangerous game. Scientists have discovered that when we're deeply attracted to someone, our brain releases dopamine, the same chemical involved in many addictive behaviors. Every message, every compliment, every smile becomes a tiny reward. Your brain starts saying, that felt amazing. Let's get more. It's almost like your brain turns into a little kid in a candy store. One more text, one more call, one more hug, one more chance. And suddenly one more becomes your entire personality. Think about how many times people unlock their phones without even realizing it. Not because they actually received a message, but because they're hoping one magically appeared. It's like opening the refrigerator every 10 minutes, even though you already know there's nothing new inside. We laugh about it, but that's exactly how addiction works. It's not always about substances. Sometimes it's about chasing feelings. The funny thing is that love can make incredibly intelligent people do incredibly ridiculous things. Someone who negotiates million-dollar business deals suddenly spends 2 hours trying to figure out whether okay with a period means she's angry. Someone who can solve difficult math problems suddenly can't understand why they were left on read. Somebody who proudly says, I don't chase anyone, somehow ends up checking another person's last scene at 2 in the morning. Love has a strange sense of humor. But here's where things become serious. Healthy love gives you peace. Addictive love gives you anxiety. Healthy love allows you to enjoy your own life. Addictive love makes your life feel like it's on pause until someone replies. That's a huge difference. Imagine your happiness as a remote control. In healthy love, both people hold their own remote. In addictive love, you hand your remote to someone else and hope they don't accidentally sit on it. Now, every mood depends on them. If they're happy, you're happy. If they're busy, you're miserable. If they don't reply, your entire day collapses. That's not love controlling your life. That's dependency. And dependency is sneaky because it wears a very attractive disguise. It whispers things like, I just miss them. I only want to talk. I just care a lot. Maybe. Or maybe your brain simply became addicted to the emotional highs they provide. Have you ever noticed that some relationships feel like riding a roller coaster? One day, everything is perfect. The next day, they're distant. Then suddenly, they're affectionate again. Oddly enough, these unpredictable relationships often become the hardest to leave. Why? Because unpredictability creates stronger cravings. It's exactly why slot machines are so addictive. You don't win every time. You win just often enough to keep pulling the lever. Sometimes relationships become emotional slot machines. One sweet message after 10 hours of silence suddenly feels incredibly valuable. Not because it actually is, but because your brain worked so hard waiting for it. Crazy, isn't it? Now here's something almost everyone has experienced. You tell yourself, I'm not going to text first. 5 minutes later, I'll just send one meme, then another message, then another. Then you start explaining why you sent the meme. Congratulations. Your self-control lasted exactly as long as microwave popcorn. We've all been there. The biggest danger of addictive love isn't heartbreak. It's losing yourself. Slowly, quietly, without noticing. You stop doing hobbies. You stop meeting friends. You stop chasing your own dreams. Everything becomes connected to one person. Even your future starts sounding like, if they're there, instead of, if I'm happy, that's a warning sign. Real love should add to your identity, not replace it. Here's another interesting question. Why do some people become addicted to love faster than others? Often, it has very little to do with love itself. Sometimes people are actually addicted to feeling wanted, to feeling chosen, to feeling important. Because deep inside, they worry they aren't enough on their own. When someone gives them attention, it feels like finally drinking water after walking through a desert. The attention becomes more important than the person. That's why after one relationship ends, some people immediately jump into another one. Different face, same addiction, because they're searching for another emotional high. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water while ignoring the huge hole at the bottom. No matter how much love someone pours into you, it'll never feel enough until you repair what's missing inside yourself. This doesn't mean you should never fall deeply in love. It simply means your happiness shouldn't disappear whenever someone walks away. A healthy relationship isn't two incomplete people trying to become whole. It's two complete people choosing to walk together. Think about your favorite meal. Pizza, biryani, burger, whatever makes your stomach smile. Now imagine someone tells you that from today onward, that's the only food you're ever allowed to eat. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, every single day. Eventually, even your favorite food becomes exhausting. Balance matters. The same is true with love. Your relationship shouldn't be your only source of joy. Keep your hobbies. Keep your ambitions. Keep laughing with your friends. Keep building yourself. Ironically, the people who have their own exciting lives often become more attractive anyway. Confidence is magnetic. Desperation usually isn't. Here's something nobody likes hearing. Sometimes you're not in love with the person. You're in love with the version of them you've created inside your imagination. The real person has flaws. The imaginary version doesn't. The imaginary version always understands you, always cares, always chooses you. Reality rarely competes with fantasy. That's why letting go can feel impossible. You're not only grieving the relationship, you're grieving the future you imagined. The vacations, the conversations, the memories that never actually happened. And that's okay. Healing doesn't mean pretending those feelings never existed. Healing means understanding they don't have to control your future. One day you'll wake up and realize something amazing. You checked your phone, but not for them. You heard their name, and your heart stayed calm. You visited places you once avoided and smiled anyway. That's not because you stopped believing in love. It's because you stopped confusing love with addiction. Real love doesn't make you smaller. It helps you grow. It doesn't ask you to abandon yourself. It reminds you to become the best version of yourself. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. If loving someone costs your peace, your confidence, your sleep, your friendships, your dreams, and your identity, then what you're protecting may not actually be love. Because love isn't supposed to be a prison with beautiful decorations. It's supposed to feel like freedom. So before you ask yourself, do they love me? Ask something even more important. Am I still becoming the person I want to be while loving them? If the answer is yes, you're probably experiencing something healthy. If the answer is no, maybe it's time to stop chasing another message and start rebuilding the relationship you've been ignoring all along, the one with yourself. Because at the end of the day, the strongest heart isn't the one that never falls in love. It's the one that knows how to love someone without losing itself.